Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumin Guru. Thank you for joining me. Thanks to the new subscribers. I'm going to bring you some short channeled messages each day. Today I wanted to tell you about a new workshop that I'm launching, which goes in tandem with what they're pushing us to do right now, what they're telling us to do, what we're supposed to be doing on our course, on our path. Before I get to that, I want to remind you that there's just a few more weeks to apply for my soul coaching certification, which is going to be held from January through March in 2019. And so you can register or apply for that anytime between now and November 1st. There's still a few spots left. I'm being really selective in the group and, making sure it's a good mutual fit. So check that out on theilluminguru.com. Click on certificate programs and the information's right there, as well as an information video. But the new workshop I just announced, I want to tell you about, is happening on 11/11. That's November 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York time. This will be accessible for some of you who are in Europe. It'll be nighttime, your time, but it won't be too late for you, hopefully. And those of you who are here on the East Coast or on the West Coast, it'll be earlier in the day or late afternoon. And hopefully we'll be able to sync up all these different time zones. I was specifically wanting to hold a workshop on a Sunday because I've been missing some of the time zones by holding them during the week in the evenings. Some of you are still at work if you're, on the West Coast, and those of you in Europe are, you're not, it's too late, you're sleeping. So, when I looked at the calendar and I saw 11/11 was a Sunday, I was like, I have to hold a workshop. So I'm excited to do that. The workshop is called Channeling Your Muses, and the workshop is very in-depth. It's a 3-hour workshop. We're going to explore how you channel, create, market, and manifest your ideas. So these could be your big idea, your book, your novel, your movie, your screenplay, your business, your heart-based mission, your healing practice, any sort of arts project or creative project, any sort of initiative you're looking to do, heart-centered initiative. How do you create, how do you channel your muses? How do you create, develop, market, and really manifest these works? So this is for anyone who is either in the process of developing a work like this. Maybe you're getting ready to put it to market. Maybe you've already finished the book. Maybe you're just thinking about writing the book. It's not exclusively for writers, but certainly it will have a lot of great information because I know a lot of you are wanting to write or have started doing that. But it's for anyone who's a creative or visionary and wanting to do anything, whether it's a new brand, a new business. I'm going to give you the tools to help navigate this process successfully. And so what will we explore? So the part 1 will be, we'll take a break in this 3-hour workshop. It's like a webinar. But the first part before we break will be channeling your muses. We'll explore that. What is co-creation? How to get out of your own way. How to hone in on your big idea, right? We're going to look at things you might be missing, things that you're too, laser focused on, the development and the process of creating your work, okay? And how you do that co-creation dance with your muses. We'll have time for Q&A and to answer your specific questions about your ideas and projects. We'll take a break, we'll come back, and then we're going to talk about how we market those projects, how you are your own best sales tool, how you open the doors to get it out there and not kick down the doors, okay? Dealing with rejection, how rejection is dress rehearsal, how you sync vibrationally with your projects, and the art of emotional detachment, bringing your 5D dreams into reality, and then the notion of, well, it's done now what? So we're going to explore creating versus waiting. And then we'll have time for a resources discussion and more Q&A at the end of the workshop. So it's going to be great. We're going to have time to talk about what you're doing individually. I'll be giving you tons of tools and information. I am a former owner of a PR and marketing agency who worked with businesses, and then somewhere in there I rebranded and worked solely with artists, so writers, authors, speakers, creative brands, fashion designers, musicians, you name it. And then I actually pulled away from all of that and started developing, and my PR marketing business was very successful. And then I pulled away from it and started developing my own creative projects, which were writing projects in the theatrical realm. And I learned the hard way and the expensive way what not to do and what to do. I also spent a lot of time, energy, resources on legal assistance in the realm of intellectual property and, this type of development. So I have a whole mishmash of knowledge and skills that I can give to you from years of working in this realm. And I know the process well myself. I also know what works and what doesn't work. And I know how to teach this to you where you're not just taking practical advice from a business sense, but that I can give you the advice from a business sense or practical sense, real world sense that meshes well with the law of attraction and how we manifest things vibrationally. So I'm so excited to teach the workshop. Please check it out. Sign up if you're interested. It's on theillumineguru.com. Click on sessions. I'll put the link below this video. So this goes in tandem with today's channel message, because today's channel message is really, I'm going to pull a few cards for us just to reinforce these messages. But it's really about, this is the work we are meant to be doing for this 1111 gateway. And I have goosebumps just even talking about it. Our work is really about coming fully into our individual wholeness as preparedness for union with ourselves, or for preparing in preparation for union with ourselves. And so I know, again, goosebumps. I know some of you are like, 1111, it's like awakening and it's union with your twin flame. Oh, it's the twin flame union. And it's like, yeah, it's twin flame union. Like, you're the twin flame and you're united with yourself. And any joint unions where you're coming in with your twin flame partner that is subsequent to that will be a product of the wholeness that you find by stepping more fully into yourself, into your projects, into the nurturing of yourself, into your fullest potential. That's what this 1111 gateway is about. It's about living up to your fullest potential. And I'm not even going to get into the astrology of it yet, because that's a whole nother thing that I will address as we get closer to 1111, okay? For now, they were showing me to pull from a certain deck for this reading. Okay, so it's not a reading. It's just a little check-in with the energies. So they were showing me, actually, interestingly enough, to work with the Past Life deck from Brian Weiss and Doreen Virtue. So this is not just past life. Okay, the messages in here for us are about past life, early life right now. But they were showing me specifically that this is the deck I need to work with today. So there's messages for us here, okay? So let's just pull 3 cards from this deck to get some of these messages. Okay. So it looks like it feels like many of you are healing the abandonment wound, and many of you've had to have the rigorous triggers of the twin flame leaving you, and everyone in your life, leaving you, the hurts, the disappointments, the letdowns, this, they're showing me it's like a friction. It's like this, and it's like this rigorous, like it's been getting you to look within. And so what you probably have found if you've dug deep enough is that at some point in your childhood wounding, you abandoned self. And that was through your wounding. That was through either being left, not feeling good enough, being humiliated in some way. There's some reason why you left your divine self, your connection to your divine self, your wholeness, your fullness of who you are. This notion of I am enough just by being a divine human who radiates light, divine soul on this earth. I am enough. That was lost, okay? And this is one of the reasons why they're calling us now into ourselves more fully, because we're ready to reconnect with that little being, that one who's separated from him or herself, in order to heal this wound. Now, some of you have thought that, well, I'll heal this wound when, I don't get triggered when my twin flame doesn't leave me anymore. So for example, I've heard clients say, hey, I'm totally okay. My twin flame just rejected me again, and it's for the first time. I'm not even triggered. It's like, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's huge progress. That means that you've been doing your work. But there's one more step to that, to heal that wound. And it's beyond just the awareness. Now it's stepping into alignment fully with yourself. So this is why they've been showing me to put this workshop out there, and that this 1111 Gateway is about true union with yourself. It feels like truly the last piece for many of you of healing this abandonment wound, which is the wound, right? It is the one that we struggle with so much. If you have not done enough work around this wound, if you are still getting habitually triggered, if you still have that friction going on in your life at any level, the push-pull, the runner-chaser, I really, really recommend that you do more healing around these inner child wounds or things. These could be also beliefs, programming, things that you've brought in from past lives, but they were certainly recreated in this lifetime. I can do this with you in soul coaching. You can take the courses, especially the level 1 courses on vibeup.com. You can, work with a therapist, you can work with another healer, but go to that healing, okay? And for many of you, you already have been doing this, so you have the awareness, and you're ready to come into alignment now, okay? So that's really the fun part of this. And we practice alignment in the Vibe Up Level 2 courses, so you can check that out, vibeup.com, look at the Level 2 courses. But this, just in this workshop, that's alignment. That's coming all the way into yourself. That's stepping all the way into the full potential of your gifts. And some of you are ready for that. Okay? We're all at different levels, different layers, different waves, different, no one person is in the exact same place, but I think there's a whole wave of twin flames out there right now who are leaving some things behind to come all the way into themselves, really recognizing the distractions, not allowing the feeling of abandonment or toxic cycles where you're chasing after someone or getting roped back in to suck your energy anymore, where you're having that energy to get back onto yourself. So this is interesting because food and hunger. Well, this always comes up when we're scared, or in lack thinking, we don't have the resources to do it. We're going to be, this could be like left out in the cold, destitute, worried about where's the money going to come from. Like, there's financial risk. I mean, that's something we're going to explore in this 1111 workshop too. Like, how do you not take a huge financial gamble and use the resources that you have? How do you get really resourceful? How do you create where you can pull in the resources, attract the resources without having to, leave yourself in a position where you would be, destitute or needing to gamble, all of your capital or your own, personal finances to do certain projects? How do you start something from nothing? How do you do that without fear? So we'll explore those things, but I feel like that's an aspect that's coming up right now. This could be coming up just in even in codependent relationships where some of you are wanting to leave, karmic partners, and there's one or both parties are worried about money or finances or being okay on your own. And they're really saying this is a time to come into your own self-reliance and to look at these fears and understand the root cause of these fears. Once you identify what those root causes are, what those beliefs are, because there's always a belief in there about money, lack, self-reliance. There's something in there that you need to uncover to understand where this is rooted in before you can start to shift and transform it. Okay. And then they're showing me love life. which feels like through the coming into your self-reliance, through the releasing the abandonment, coming more fully into yourself, like your love lives are going to light up. I've been telling you this for a long time, but I'm telling you that as it's like they're showing me like little flower buds just like popping up, like ping, 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 and like, oh, she's ready. Oh, he's ready. Oh, she's ready. Oh, he's ready. Like that's how they're showing it to me, and they're saying like, oh, okay, like as you come into wholeness, like you're ready to pair up with your life partner. For some of you, that is your twin flame, the one who you've had in mind that you've been doing this dance with. For others of you, it's going to be a soulmate that you haven't met yet, that you're about to meet, or someone that weren't expecting, that is really your true life love partner. You are being pushed together with and towards those who are in alignment with your highest good. Many of you are going to be making sacred vows over the next year or so. And let's see what else. Sacred vows meaning it feels like many of you are leaving the karmic relationships so that you can, it's like a trade-in. You're trading in for the real twin or the real soulmate life partner. You're seeing the lessons that have been hard to see, or that you haven't wanted to see as lessons because you've been hanging on to them like, this is the person, this is the person. And they're saying this is going to be really come into focus for many of you. And they are talking about at the bottom of the deck is lessons and blessings, okay? So lessons and blessings from these karmic relationships. For many of you, it feels like newfound freedom. I'll pull a couple of cards from our Angel Therapy and Ascended Masters deck to just complement these messages as they all fall out. And so, yeah, newfound freedom is what it feels like. And that is going to make you feel like, wow, I didn't realize I was so chained. I didn't realize I was so chained to that person, to that cycle, to my own fears, to these false beliefs. Remember, false belief is a fear-based belief, okay? A real belief is going to be from trust. And so let's see what these cards say. Interesting. These are all chakra cards. And at the bottom we have twin flame. So, the sacral chakra is about getting rid of the... Ooh, I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, my voice command just came on the computer. I don't know if it cut out. But sacral chakra is about eliminating the toxicities in our lives. So this is really about the ascension, up-leveling, getting pure in what we eat. And I'm going to be making a video just about high vibrational foods. On Vibe Up, I'm going to be doing a whole series of cooking videos, how you can create high vibrational meals and start living this lifestyle to complement the work that you're doing at a spiritual level. That's coming up, okay? Probably by this winter, you'll be seeing those segments. But for now, let's talk about full integration, which is, where have we been out of alignment with this work that we're doing, with this ascension work, right? Like where do we still keep that, addictive behavior, the addiction to the person or the cycle, the toxic cycles, the actual addictions to substances, to food, to whatever that is, to toxic relationships, these habits, these cycles. Where are we putting things in our body that are not healthful for us to complement this up-leveling? And so they're asking us to get really pure with this and really look at this as a huge tool for our ascension and really think about integrating in all areas of your life. It's not just, healing and shifting your beliefs. This is everything. This is what you're putting into your body. It's how you're moving through every piece of your life, okay? Many of you have been triggered lately, okay? Many people, including myself, have been highly triggered by anything that's here for us to close up karmically. And we could be holding those triggers as, toxically in our body. So whether that's sadness or anger, make sure you really are able to get that out, cry through it, exercise, deal with your anger, deal with your stuff from the inside out. Allow yourself to feel it and heal it, because they're saying we don't want to hold those triggers inside of us to cause more blocks from within. We'll end up sick. We'll end up ill. We don't want you to do that. This is really about cleansing our anything toxic. So then we have the base chakra, okay? And this one is saying, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome. So this is about how you tell your story. That's what the reminder is for us, is like the way you're telling your story is so important. And if you're telling your story, like I hear a lot of you go, it's okay if that happens or not. Like, I don't know, like whatever the universe wants for me. And they're saying, no, you need to get more deliberate about what you're creating and what you're desiring. It's not about attaching to it, but it's really about choosing like what you want and honing in on what you want and allowing yourself to dream about it, visualize it, believe it's possible. Okay. So where have you been telling the story about impossibility? And then they're saying ear chakras, which I've been talking about for several videos, or I've said in maybe 2 videos back or something, but that we're getting messages and downloads through our ear chakras, which is information coming through that we're hearing. Like they could be things that you're like, oh, this is totally insignificant. I'm just going to skip over this. And they're like, no, pay attention to it. I'll tell you a story. My sister is heading to Europe, and I woke up this morning and the guides were chirping in my ear. And like my first thought was, tell her to bring Band-Aids. Tell her to put Band-Aids in her purse. Like, that's so silly. So I get on the phone with her this morning and I was like, hey, I said, did you pack some Band-Aids? Because they're telling me you're going to need it for your feet. She's like, oh my God, my shoes were rubbing against my feet yesterday. And I was just thinking to myself, I need to pack Band-Aids because, and I said, yeah. I said, okay, well, I heard that. That's what they were telling me. Like the moment I woke up, they were telling me. And so if you're getting these downloads, don't be afraid to share, even something as simple as that. Like, I have very well developed psychic gifts, and I even hesitated sharing that with my sister because I was like, she's going to think I'm dumb or stupid. Like, she probably already has Band-Aids packed her. But she said, you know what? She said it's really good because she got that message, but she wasn't fully believing in it. And now that was like confirmation, like, hey, you're going to have some discomfort with your shoes. Like, you need to pack your Band-Aids, whatever it is. So whatever that is, don't be afraid to share it with people. Okay, that's how you're going to get confirmation, right? That's how you're going to know that these messages are relevant. And if it's not for a particular person or someone that you could share it with, write it down to yourself, validate it for yourself, and keep a journal or log of these messages that you're downloading, either in dream state, waking state. For me, this was kind of like a lucid state as I was waking up. Messages coming through our ear chakras, as well as you're getting signs, visual signs and synchronicities and all of that. But this could also be conversations that you're hearing. This could be pieces of songs that are coming through for you that have messages. I have been reviving or revitalizing some creative ideas, and one of my clients had a channeled message for me from Archangel Gabriel. And when she sent it to me, the way she worded it was like, it was a line from a song that my master guide uses to work with me when I'm manifesting something. And so when I told her that, I was like, wow, that's really amazing. So again, she asked for my permission. She said, hey, I got this message for you. Is it okay for me to share it? I said, sure, I'd love to hear it. And then there it was, and it had so much in there for me and for her as well. It was just really beautiful. So don't hesitate to start sharing your messages. Okay, it's not just listening to them and trusting them, but sharing some of them. Okay. And then lastly, they're saying there's a focus on health. So some of these ascension symptoms are rocking you guys. Exhaustion, emotional up and down, your body working, your body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, your physical body working overtime for this ascension. And like I said, some of you, it's the triggers that you're holding within your body that are creating some blockages. We want to make sure that we're balancing our chakras, we're breathing deeply, we're meditating, we're dealing with our emotions, we're feeling our emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to rest, rest. This is the way we're going to be able to balance ourselves and get back into healthy alignment. Feel good, feel energized, okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be back in a few days with another message. I love you. Bye. Mwah.